BI training SSIS, and this is Siva Girmala, and in this video we are going to explore SQL Data Tools. SQL Data Tools is being supported in Visual Studio 2010 and 2012 versions, Shell or Pro, but Visual Studio 2013 does not support SQL Data Tools for SQL Server 2012. It seems Microsoft is going to provide the support for Visual Studio 2013 SQL Data Tools while releasing the SQL Server 2014. And we are going to explore Visual Studio, some of the features for SSIS development. And basically we are going to explore project deployment model, package deployment model, and how to convert between package deployment model to project deployment model and vice versa. So let's go into Visual Studio and explore some features before we're going to talk about project deployment and package deployment models. And as I said, let me show you something quickly for Visual Studio 2013 that is not supporting the Visual Data Tools, SQL Data Tools. And here, this is a Visual Studio Professional version 2013, and let's try to create a project. And here, if you look at the options here, we have, I can create a project based on Visual Basic, C Sharp, Web, Visual C++, etc., but not SQL Data Tools. So basically Visual Studio 2013 doesn't support SQL Data Tools. So that's we need to understand here. And let me close this guy and let's go to Visual Studio 2012. This is a shell version, not a full Visual Studio professional version. Here we can see that here, and it does support the SQL Data Tools. Okay, now we are in Visual Studio SQL Data Tools, and we are going to create a project, new project. And here we have 3 or 4 options here. We can create analysis services projects, we can create integration services projects, and we can create the reporting services project. And in this video we are going to create the integration services project. And here we have 2 options here. We can just create the project, or we can name the solution also. And if you check this box, it will create the directory solution and the directory for the project. And let me quickly create a couple of projects, one with the solution, one with create directory solution, and one without the create directory solution. Let's do the first option here. Let's create just a integration services project. Let me call this business dynamics stats SSIS, and we are not going to create a directory for this solution. And click OK, and here is the project directory where the solution is going to be, where the project is going to be created. Okay, let's click OK. And here on my left, this is the SSIS toolbox, and this is the package development area, and here on my right side is the solution explorer. And if the solution is not being displayed here, you can go to the tools and options, and if you check that box always shows solution, then that solution, name of the solution, will be displayed all the time. Because I took out that option here, so it is not displaying the solution here. So that is one option. You need to keep that in mind if you want to bring the name of the solution back into the solution explorer. Okay, here we are. Right now we created a project. Even though we didn't ask for the solution, to create a solution, it will automatically create the solution with the same name of the package. and let's go to the directory where it created the project, and here it created a one folder only, Business Dynamics Stats SSIS, and then within that folder created the solution and the package itself. Now let's go back to the Visual Studio and add a new project, and I'm going to call this as, for example, I'm going to create SSRS projects here, or let's call it SSIS. No, let's call it SSRS. Okay, and say okay. And so under one solution we have two different projects here. One is the Business Dynamics Stats SSIS, and the another project we have created is SSRS. Now if you go back to the folder structure, here Business Dynamics Stats SSIS, that's the first project we have, and here the second project we created in the same solution, it created under the projects directory itself. And now to compare with the other option, we have, while creating the solution, create directory for solution, I would like to do that and show the difference between these two options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this solution and create a new solution with that option. Okay, I close the solution and then open project, and here I'm going to name it Business Dynamics Stats, and create a directory solution, and let me name all the project here as SSIS and solution Dynamics Stats, and we are going to create a directory for solution. So we have the name of the solution as Business Dynamics Stats and created a project by name SSIS. And let's do the same thing, add a new project here by name SSRS. I can change this to report server project and browse. Okay, so we created two projects under the same solution. And if you go back to the directory, here Business Dynamics Stats, so we have the solution here, and under that we have two different directories. So the difference between create directory solution, if you check that box, all the projects are within that solution folder. If you don't check that box, all the different projects will be created under the projects folder directly. So we need to understand this difference between create directory for solution and not opting for the create directory for solution. So we know what we did here, so we understand that concept here. So let me close this one, close solution, yes. I'm going to delete this guy because we don't need this. Let it be there because I want to show you something else here, and let's walk through. Open the solution, project solution. So my documents, we are already crossed the 10 minutes limit, so we'll come back and then we will continue this video in the next one. Thanks for watching.